my name is Mark and welcome to my channel. Join me all year round, week in, week out, come rain or shine, and together we'll be fishing for pleasure. As you can see, we've set up in the rain. Oh, typical, isn't it? Finished work at 6. It's taken me an hour to get all the rods out in the rain from under the umbrella, but we're fishing 7 o'clock. 20 foot at Whittlesea. Venue of the British Pike Championships this year. I'll say hello properly and give you a rundown once it brightens up a little bit. But we've got 3 rods out. Left hand rod, running water paternosted rig with a smelt on. Middle rod, it's a static dead on the deck, that's also got a smelt. And the right hand rod is a running water paternoster with a small roach about 2 inches. 1.5 to 2 inches long. Just wanted to get 3 baits out quick, smart. Bit difficult setting up in the dark and the rain, but we're on it. I can see some fry thrashing about on the far bank. Let's hope the rain stops, the cloud stays, and we have a good day. I'll say good morning. First dry opportunity, and we're piking, troops. So good morning, troops. Another day, another river. And what are we up to today? Piking, of course, this time of year. Pike mad, pike daft, as I always say. And we are fishing the Whittlesea District's 20 foot river. And the reason we're fishing it is sort of like give the older British Pike Championship venue going over before the actual final kicks off on the 9th of November. Like a rate, instead of rate my takeaway, rate my fishery. We're going to just have a pleasant day piking on here, see what it's like. If you've never fished here before, I'll scan the camera up and down in a minute. Access wise, spot on. The road runs along the whole of this stretch. There's a road that runs along the whole of the Glassmoor bank stretch. Access, second to none. You just park up, hop up the bank, and you're fishing. Value for money, ticket wise, again, you can't fault it. It's £22 for the year, and for that you get fantastic pike fishing, fantastic rudd and roach fishing, fantastic tench fishing. It's got everything here, really. It's not easy, you know, you've got to put in some graft, but the rewards are there. And the reason they hold the pike championships here, there's plenty of pike in here. You can locate them. They go up to 20 if you can locate them. But I mean, it can accommodate a lot of anglers. You've got huge amount of swims along this stretch. Huge amount of swims along Glassmoor bank stretch. They use both stretches on the Pike Championship day, and it's access at the moment. I should imagine they'll be cutting the banks down for the big kick-off. Access at the moment, there's a few swims cut out, not many. It's one of those where you've got to cut your own swim out, and I don't see anything wrong with it. A lot of people moan about it. Oh, what do I pay a licence fee for? What do I pay a club ticket for? Don't bother me. It's wild fishing. That's what I'm paying for. Wild fishing. I don't want to turn up to a river and have a gravelled swim where the swim's got a name on it or whatever, you know what I mean? It's wild fishing. It's brilliant fishing. It can be tormenting, can be very, very difficult. All depends on the conditions. At the moment they look spot on. Water's got a nice tinge to it, it's not crystal clear. So we had a lot of rain this morning, not a lot over the last few days, so I ain't worried about levels or fluctuating levels or the drain running off hard. We've got 3 rods out. I'm going to change one of the rods. Because 2 of them have got smelt on, and I didn't want to change over in the dark and in the rain, so I'm going to change one of them over, one of the hooks over, a slightly bigger hook, and get a herring out. So we've got a sea dead herring, sea dead smelt, and then a roach. But yeah, the rain stopped, clouds broken, it's a beautiful day. Let's catch some pike. And this is what I was saying about access. Look, that road runs for miles, as does the drain. The road runs for miles that way, as does the drain. As you can see from the vegetation, it is wild. You've got to cut your own swims. But I should imagine that they'll be cutting all that back for the pike anglers, for the championships, for the big off. Let's see if we can see what's the going bait, what's the going method on here today. Well troops, it's nearly midday, nothing to report, and the reason we ain't done much filming, it's just started raining as soon as I had a chat with you, and it hasn't stopped. It's been about half hour, 40 minutes now without any rain. There's a few blue clouds up above, so it's not, looks like it might be a dry afternoon. And the Environment Agency have been round twice in one season. Totally different counties and parts of the world. Up on my local River Whiffen, we had one on the opening day of the season. Well, my opening session of the season wasn't the opening day of the season, so that was in the summer. And just now we've had another bailiff through checking licences, which is really good to see. I know a lot of people get the right hump with bailiffs and the EA, but without them patrolling, we would really be stuffed. So yeah, we've had a little visit from them. It looks like I'm the only one on the bank, to be fair. So I'm hoping we get some action. You know, it's I've changed, as I said earlier, I've changed that middle rod now. I've put a slightly bigger hook on and a bigger bait, so I've got a sea dead on the middle rod now. That's a herring, whole herring, about 6 inches long. The left hand rod, I've changed the trace on, and the right hand rod I've changed the trace on. I wasn't happy with the anti-tangle sleeves. I always use solid bag stems, and I used a couple from a different manufacturer on these ones I made up, and I weren't happy with them. I thought they were too supple. Just put me stiff ones on, and it's kicking the trace well away from the main line, which I love. That's why, you know, that paternoster rig is really helpful when you've got really stiff anti-tangle sleeve. Kick that trace right out that way. So we're all here, we're all ready to go. Just need the pike to put in an appearance. Well, here we go. Finally, first run, paternostered roach, single hook. No question that's not on. It's a decent fish. Let's get it in the net. Boy, here we go. Lovely jubbly. First one, hopefully, of many. Very good fish. Well, at last we got something to report from the British Pike Championship venue. Paternostered roach. We got one. It's only a jack. First fish of the day, first run of the day. Nailed on. Oh, thank you very much. The fishing gods are shining on me. Let's hope. Look at that. Unlike the competitors in the British Pike Championships, I get to stay for the last hour. Let's hope the old witching hour produces something special. Well, my honest assessment of this venue is, I'm slightly biased because I fish it a lot and I like it, it's a top quality venue. There's no getting away from that. If you're pleasure fishing, you're piking, I personally believe that the mobile approach is the way to go on here. If you're out here for a day's piking, keep mobile, keep moving, keep leapfrogging, looking for features, bridges, etc., culverts, and looking for the fish. It's such a vast stretch of water, and it's, you know, and it's interconnected to so many other stretches of water. Sitting and waiting for the fish to come to you can be proved quite difficult. So it would be the mobile approach for your pleasure angling. As for the up and coming Pike Championships, my honest assessment is it's a very fair venue. Depth's uniform. Today I'm fishing at 9.5 foot. It all depends on the water level, but whatever depth you've got at the start of the stretch, you'll have at the end of the stretch. It's pretty damn uniform all the way along. Feature wise, there's not many. There's a few bridges and a few culverts, and that's all. So if you're lucky enough to get a draw on one of the features, they might be holding fish, they might not. So I think it's all down to the draw personally. If you draw a peg, there's 2 or 3 fish in, I think you will be in the hunt. If you're lucky enough to draw a peg where there's 4 or 5 fish in, I think you'll be pretty damn close to being a champion. You know, it can throw up a 20, it can throw up a big fish, but they don't give themselves up easy here. You know, there are 20s in here, but they're not easy to come by. You know, you've got to work hard for them, and of course you've got the time limit on a match. You know, you're not there all day waiting for the light levels to drop in the evening to get you a few extra runs. You've got from your start time and your finish time. So if you get, it's all to me it's all the draw. If you get a good draw and you get drawn on some fish, as I say, you'll be in the hunt. If you get drawn on a place, on a section that's got a lot of fish in it, you know, you probably be lifting the trophy. Of course, you got to work at it. You got to have the right method in the right swim at the right time. That always goes without saying. But so I think it's a pretty fair place. You know, it's not a venue where I find an abundance of fish. I never have done, but then I might be fishing it wrong. But I've, you know, over the years, and I've fished it, I've fished this stretch a good 15 years now, probably closer to 20. And you know, it's one of those venues where I personally think the mobile approach works best. You know, as I say, it's such a vast stretch of water. You know, it can't be heaving with fish all the time. You've got to openly be active and find a fish. Now, my style of fishing, now I'm getting on a bit, is I have the static approach. What I do is I tend to work my rods rather than work the bank. Now, of course, you won't be able to do that in a match because you'll be restricted to your peg. You know, with me, when I'm pleasure fishing here, I can cast 50 metres downstream, 50 metres upstream. That means all of a sudden I'm covering 100 metres of water. You can't do that in a match. So, for the moment, conditions are pretty benign. Can be very weather dependent. You know, if you have a lot of rain the week before leading up to the match, it's going to be running off and running off hard, because the middle level commissioners have not only got this venue to take care of, they've got the whole of the fens to take care of. And, you know, and if they require to run water off and water off hard out to sea, they will. So it can be weather, you know, it can be weather dependent. You know, the weather and the conditions can hit it hard, or they can make it comfortable. Needless to say, whoever wins will deserve it.